I wanted to talk about manifestation today and how I bumped into it throughout my life. I'm like, well, what's the formula with this thing? Good morning, everybody. This is Candy Zenon, author and life coach and CEO founder of Changing Seasons Life Coaching, where I help single moms strengthen their faith, family, and finances. I wanted to talk about manifestation today and the power of the spoken word and how I bumped into it throughout my life, but I never knew how to manifest it. I'm like, well, what's the formula with this thing? And I know the secret and all of this stuff came later, but the Bible said it long ago. You know, there's a power in the spoken word that we could speak to those things and we can receive those things that we speak to, because God keep telling us, we keep saying what we have, but he keep telling us we can have what we say. Remember one time I was sitting down at my desk and I was writing down how I was going to fit a dining room table into my living room, because I had this weird, odd shaped living room, dining room combination. And I was writing squares and circles and rectangles, and the phone rung. And I'm talking to God and having a moment, and the phone rang. And I was like, this is rude. You know, I'm trying to have a moment with God. So I answered the phone, and it was Felicia. Hey, Fee. She called, and she said that you want a dining room. She said, you want a dining room table? I was like, huh? Because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get a dining room table. I desired one, but I didn't know how it was going to fit. And she's like, you want a dining room table? And I was like, yeah. She said, okay, I'm going to come to your job, pick up your keys, bring the dining room table to your house, and bring you back your keys. And she did just that. I'm like, wow. I was sitting here desiring that thing. Oprah Winfrey stated that when you put time and when you put emotion to that thing that you desire, when you can feel it, you can smell it, you can see it, you can taste it, that's when you manifest it. And I felt that way about a Toyota Sequoia. Baby, I wanted that Toyota Sequoia so bad. So I heard the voice within say, you want this Toyota Sequoia, but you don't even want to go to the dealership to test drive it. I was like, well, I can't get the Toyota Sequoia right now. I got to this, that. I had a baby on the way. I was like, it's not really time to get it. So he was like, go. So I went, I looked around. I found one that I wanted to test drive. And as I was going to find a dealer, I had on sandals. And as I was going to find a dealer, I fell down. A pregnant woman on the lot fell down. They had a pipe that was bent downward. And between my sandal and my toes, the pipe got stuck and I flipped over. And don't you know they had like several dealers standing out in front of the dealership, and every last one of them disappeared. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I'm for to sue this company. And I was like, I don't have no witnesses. And just like that, a man showed up. I guess he was coming to he was a customer. He wasn't an employee. And he was like, are you okay? Do you need help? I said, can you help me to my car? I was limping. I was hurting. And don't you know, I talked myself out of getting in the ambulance. I was like, I'm just going to go home and lay down. I was hurting and I was embarrassed because I fell. But it wasn't my fault. It wasn't due to clumsiness. It was due to that pipe that they bent down instead of had it welded off like they should have. They tried to do something cheap, and it caused harm to their customer. So I would say that was a time that I let go of the manifestation that I had emotion with desire. I could smell it. I could see it. I could smell the leather. I could feel myself riding and driving in this Toyota Sequoia. And I go to the dealership and could have had the dealership, and I could have had a dealership full of Toyota Sequoias. But I walked away from it. So that was two. That was okay. That was two. I wanted a cherry vanilla Diet Dr. Pepper. I wanted it like super, super bad. And I either didn't have money or I didn't have change for the vending machine. However, I couldn't get it on my own. Right then, I'm like, oh man, let me keep working because ain't nothing I can do about it. But I can smell the cherry vanilla Diet Dr. Pepper. I can hear the fizz. I can hear the cap pop open. But I said, let me keep working. And right then a coworker came to me and it's like, Candy, would you like this cherry vanilla Diet Dr. Pepper? Two of them fell out of the vending machine. Would you like one? And I was like, why, yes, I would like one. So you have the power within you to manifest that thing that you desire. It's with emotion. When you can smell it, breathe it, hear it, feel it, it's attached to desire. And when time and chance happen, it is birth. And like I talked about in my book, Hope for a Rainy Day, it was conceived at the moment of time of profession. It just needed time for maturation. Just like me, from the time my daddy's sperm fertilized my mother's egg, I was conceived. I could not be seen under the radar, under the human eye, yet my existence could not be denied. Even under the radar of my mother's knowledge did not change my constant growth and maturation in her womb. However, after many nights of Church's Fried Chicken, because that's my mama's favorite, and Dunkin' Donuts, and 9 months later, there I came, a 9-pound, 8-ounce baby girl. So God will give you what you say when you say it. You have to keep the faith until you see it. According to Genesis, as long as the earth remains, there will always be seed time, time and harvest. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Your future is not only in his hands, but is in his plans. And that's an excerpt from Hope for a Rainy Day. You can get that from my website. I'll leave the link below this video. But I wanted to tell you that your words are powerful. And I want you to start using your words for the good and not for the bad. Stop saying what you have. You know what you have. You see it. But say what you want. What is that thing that you hope for? What is that secret prayer that you refuse to say out loud? What is that thing that you desire that be life-changing for you? Life-altering for your generations. Life mind-boggling before your eyes, that thing that you desire. You can speak to that thing, and it has to be uprooted. It has to be moved. I share with you all how I spoke to a knot in my right breath and said, you can't stay here. You cannot, and I detailed that story in my book, Hope for a Rainy Day, as well. I'm like, you can't manifest in this body. You have to go. And I felt that knot deflate. I felt that knot deflate under my hand like a balloon. And when I went to the doctor, he didn't find any traces of a lump in my right breast. So I'm coming to tell you that your words have power. They have meaning. They have presence here in this earth realm. You have to use them. So I invite you at this time to listen to these steps of manifestation. I'm just going to share 5. And number 1, get rid of limiting beliefs. Stop saying it's for somebody else. It's for you if you desire it. It's for you if you want it. It's for you if you say it. So starve doubt and fear. Starve doubt and fear. Every time a fiery dart comes to you, saying, oh, you can't get that. You're a woman. Oh, you can't get that. You're black. Or you can't get that. You don't have the education. You can't get that. You're too old. You can't get that. You're too young. Starve it. You have to find you something to hold on to. If it's an affirmation, if it's a scripture, if it's a promise. And a promise is a promise is a promise, baby. But you have to believe it to be true for you. Okay? Number 2. Define your goals. Get clear on what it is that you want. What is it that you want? Think it. Dream big. He can handle it. God isn't somebody. God said, is my arms too short that I can't reach you? Let me see your wallet, baby, because that ID say you a bad mama jamma. He was like, Is my arms too short that I can't reach you? Meaning that there's no prayer big or small for God. He owns everything. And he's willing to share it with you. If you're willing to ask for it, he said, you have not because you ask not. So you have to get clear on what is it that you want. Number 3, use visualization techniques. Ask for what you want and start visualizing it. A vision journal, cut up pictures, cut up magazines, and start where you are. Daydream. That was number 3. Daydream, get you a vision journal, get you a vision board, and start speaking to that thing that you want. 4, use positive affirmations. Once again, start starving that doubt and buy things that represent it. Like, say for instance, you want to travel the world and that fiery dart keeps saying, girl, you know, you need to pay your mortgage. Girl, you know, your child going to college. You need that money. You're not for to travel the world. Buy you a nice travel bag. Buy you some luggage. Buy what you can afford. Buy you some nice expensive shades. Whatever it takes to keep starving that doubt, because the dog that you feed the most will bark the loudest. So if you feed doubt the loudest, doubt is going to keep showing up. Why? Because you welcomed him here. You made them feel comfortable there. But if you start making doubt feel out of place, it's going to start leaving you, and you're going to be emboldened to start believing. And next thing you know, your friend going to say, hey, girl, I just won 2 trips around the world. You want to come? It happens just like that cherry vanilla diet Dr. Pepper that I told you about earlier. So use positive affirmations. Number 5, last but not least, allow it to be. After you done got clear on your goals, you got rid of limiting beliefs, you defined what you wanted, you use visualizations, you speak positive affirmations, just allow it to be. Just trust the process. That was my last step. Once again, this is Candy Zenon, author and life coach. And hopefully I'm helping you love through it, learn from it, live after it. I thank you. I thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend.